I'm Robert McLean of The Prime. We're speaking with Tomáš Kadeřábek, the Director of Association of Developers, one of the organizers of the upcoming Brownfields event in Český Krumlov on September 17th. Tomáš, why have brownfields become such a hot topic in the last couple of years? Have developers simply run out of other plots of land to use, or what's going on?
Well, brownfields are quite an interesting point because you have all the groups that are somehow involved in the city development. They are so-called somehow united at brownfields because everybody wants something to happen on brownfields. So even people protesting against our buildings are usually happy that something is happening at the brownfield. And then you have the cities that also have a vacant place on in their landscape, and they simply also need something to happen there. That's why the Association of Developers is in the long term involved in the conference about brownfields. That's simply our topic for the long time.
How can the public sector help so that both developers and cities get the most value out of brownfield sites in their development?
Well, definitely it's the planning, having the proper planning for the brownfield sites, have the proper land use plan and the clear vision by the planners, what's going to happen at the brownfield site. That's definitely the major topic for the city. And as well, the politicians, they should also support that and give the power to the planners to adopt the right plan. So definitely it's the planning, because it's sometimes the biggest hurdle to get things done, on brownfields. So usually it's maybe the biggest problem is certainly the planning.
Mm-hmm. There's still a good deal of suspicion about developers that they're only in it for the profit. Of course, without developers, we don't get any real sort of like motion and growth in cities. Are there mechanisms that can be used to make sure that it's a win-win situation, not just for developers, but also for the residents of a city?
Well, definitely, it's the quality, because you don't have profit if you don't have qualities. The quality and the profit, they go together, And once you have the quality and you offer it to your clients, then things are in the win-win situation immediately. So that's why we insist that especially the development of the brownfields should be carefully planned, very well prepared, and just adopt in such a way that you can deliver quality.
One of the concepts with brownfield development is that they add density to the city. That's considered in urban development circles a good thing, but the public tends to hear just more crowds or congestion when they hear that. Why is that a good thing actually for cities?
Well, if you look at the density from a broader perspective, you see that they are economical. And it's ecological as well. If you have more people living in the cities, then you have less people living in the countryside, and it's certainly an ecological issue as well. So it's the task for us, the developers, and for the cities as well, to explain to the public that density is something that we all need. Without the proper density, we cannot have a functioning cities, So if you look at the examples from the Western cities, they are much more dense than our cities in the Czech Republic. And that's simply the task for us to explain to the public that it's in their benefit, to have dense cities.
It's also much more efficient from an investment point of view. So much has already gone into the development of those brownfield sites in terms of transportation that it's a very cost-effective way for the city to grow and really grow the value of everything, the entire region around those developments.
That's exactly, because if you have the proper infrastructure already built, you have some vacant places where you can build, so then the use is much more effective of the infrastructure, and the people paying for the infrastructure will simply pay less taxes for establishing the infrastructure. So from our perspective, it really needs to be just explained that it's to the benefit all of us just to have more dense cities.
It's very easy for people on the development side or on the planning side to blame the public for not understanding these types of things. But doesn't it behoove developers and the city itself to do a better job of explaining these types of concepts? How can that be done? It's obviously a difficult task.
We always can do a better job in explaining what we are actually doing. So that's a task for us, for the cities. The city of Prague actually developed the process or the project of participace, where the people can really participate and already at the planning stage. So it's definitely a task for us to use all the tools that the modern time allows us to use, all the social media, video conferences, etc., to explain people what's going to happen in their neighborhood and get their support for that. So that's definitely our joint effort for the politicians, the planners, and ourselves.
Mm-hmm. This is the third time that the Brownfields conference has taken place, but it's the first time so far from Prague. Was that intentional, and if so, why?
Definitely. We have done the first conference in Prague. The second one was close to Prague, and this one is finally in the regions. It's generally the idea of Association of Developers to be involved more in the regions than just to be isolated in Prague. And we definitely want to promote even the smaller cities where, if you look at the smaller cities, they have surprisingly big brownfields in their locations. So, and developing their brownfields is definitely something that needs to be supported. So it's the goal and it's the intention to go to the regions.
Okay, Tomáš Kadeřábek, thank you very much.
Thank you.